कार्तिक गिरिधारी शिशि राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्रील गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्मार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्मार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महा भगवत श्री गोक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जय। जय श्रील भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई श्रील जय नित्याल प्रविष्ट शिशुमार श्रील भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिशुमार भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिशुमार भक्ति दायित माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम शिल भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिल भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोसाई महाराज की जय। All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and all the disciples and followers of those associates ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam, Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath. No, I wasn't going to do four. Jai Srila Baladev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Jai Srila Lokanath Gosvāmī par ki jai. Shri Lokanath Das Goswami ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री चतुर्मास्य व्रत की जय। व्रत पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Okay, we'll do the Mangal Charan and then begin. Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Goriya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bharati Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukham Pradat Pravung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajang Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakamaditaranga Madhye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees, Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Amit Gupta, Champak Mataji, Radha Vinod Prabhu, um, and Raseshwari Mataji, and all the other devotees watching. If you write a comment, I'll see your name. But I'm guessing Ganga Mataji, Indira Mataji, and Vidya Lalasa Didi, and Krishna Mai Didi, and Rohini Nandan Prabhu. If you're all there, Dandavat Pranams. And also pranams to devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jaidev Prabhu, Revati Didi, and Manjari Rose. Right. Hari Bo, Rohini Nandan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All right. So yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but that's the thing with doing a daily program where there isn't a single day where we don't do a program. Some days I have, my mind's in a better state, and some days my mind's a little bit more distracted. Today's one of those days where my mind's a little bit more distracted, but I think that today's best day for that. The Śrīla Lokanātha Gosvāmī get some. Uh, yeah, I need his example and teachings right now today, especially. So, um, what should we read? I didn't actually plan anything out. Let's look at let's read from Srila Bhakti Bhagavad Goswami Maharaj's Sri Chaitanya and his associates, and then afterwards we'll see what else. Um, yeah. Also, there are two songs that Srila Narottam Das Thakur wrote. We can sing both of those songs. Last year on this day, I went to last year's video just to download the YouTube thumbnail so that I didn't have to make another one. And I saw that Srivas joined the program. And so I'm sure Srivas had a bunch of very interesting things in his research and all that to share. I don't remember it because I just have a bad memory, but yeah, if anybody wants, you can check out last year's video on this day as well. Okay, so what are we? Let me find Lokanath Goswami. Where is he? Maybe I'll just type it in the search. Oh, there he is. Lokanath Goswami and Bhugarbha Goswami. Okay. Lokanatha Goswami Śrīla Manjari Pura. That's it. Lokanath Goswami was known as Leela Manjari in Krishna Leela. It's Gaur Ganodash Tipika 187. How come I had in my head Manjulali Manjari for some reason? Maybe, I don't know. That's so. Anyway, sorry guys. Okay, so Lokanath Goswami is considered to be Mahaprabhu's direct disciple and associate. Prior to coming to Navadvip, he lived in the village of Talkori in the Jessore district of present-day Bangladesh. Haribol Vidilala Sadidi. Prior to that, he resided in Kanchanapara. Chandrasekhar keeps on wanting to bring me there. That's where his wife's from. His father's name was Padmanabha Chakravarti, and his mother was Sita Devi. This is confirmed by the Bhakti Ratnakar. Okay, his father's name is Padmanabha Chakravarti and Sita Devi. Okay. So in Bhakti Ratnakar it says, Shrimad Radha Vinodaika Seva Sampat Samanvitam Parmanabha Atmajam Śrīla Lokanātha Prabhung Bhaje. I worship Lokanath Prabhu, the son of Padmanabha, whose life revolved around the wealth of service of his deity, Radha Vinod. The descendants of Lokanath Goswami's brother Pragalbha Bhattacharya are still living in Talkori. Bhugarbha Goswami was Lokanath Goswami's closest friend and constant companion. He was Prem Manjari in Vraj. Gaur Ganodesh Tipika 187. Bhugarbha Thakurasyasit Purvakya Prema Manjari. Okay. According to the Sadhana Dipika, Bhugarbha Goswami was Lokanath Goswami's paternal uncle. In the Shaka Nirnayamrita adds the following comments on Bhugarbha Goswami. Goswaminam cha Bhugarbham Bhugarbhotang Suvishrutam Sada Mahashayang Vande Krishna Prema Pradang Prabhum Śrīla Govinda Devasya Seva Sukha Vilasinang Dayalung Premadang Swachang Nityang Ananda Vigraham. I offer my reverence to the illustrious Bhugarbha Prabhu, who is said to be born from the bowels of the earth. Bhugarbha. Bhu means earth, Garbha means womb. He bestows love of Krishna. He takes pleasure in the service of Govinda Dev, is compassionate, simple, and always joyful. Bhugarbha Goswami's initiating guru was Gadadhar Pandit Goswami. He is therefore considered to be Gadadhar's branch of the Chaitanya tree. Sri Bhagavat Das, a fellow disciple of Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami, was his close friend. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 12. It says, Bhugarbha Goswami and Bhagavat Das are branches of Gadadhar Pandit. Both of them went to live in Vrindavan. So interesting to hear about the relationship of these personalities. Even it's not explaining much, but at least I think it's really nice, like auspicious just to know who is dear to who. So Lokanath Goswami and Bhugarbha Goswami go to Vraj. Lokanath Goswami renounced the householder ashram in 1510. That's 1431 of the Shaka era. And he came to meet Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. Mahaprabhu immediately told him to go and live in Vrindavan, telling him that it was his own intention to take sannyas very shortly and go there himself. Lokanath Goswami started to cry when he imagined the Lord with his beautiful curly hair shorn, and the distress the devotees would feel at his sannyas. When the Lord saw Lokanath Goswami's anxiety, he embraced him and consoled him with his mystical words, and Lokanath Goswami surrendered completely to him. When Bhugarbo Goswami saw how unhappy Lokanath Goswami was, he decided to accompany him to Vrindavan. The two companions walked through Raj Mahal, Tajpur, Purnia, Ayodhya, Lucknow, and many holy places before finally arriving in Vraj. Wow, talk about a good, loyal friend. Bhugarbo Goswami, just because he saw how unhappy Lokanath Goswami was, Bhugarbo Goswami accompanied him for that reason. That whole long distance to give him support. Though he had come to Vrindavan on Mahaprabhu's order, Lokanath Goswami constantly felt intense separation from the Lord and shed copious tears in his desire to see him again. When he received the news that Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas and gone to Puri, and from there to South India on pilgrimage, Lokanath Goswami had hurried to southern India in order to join him. When he arrived in the south, he heard that Mahaprabhu was no longer there, but had gone to Vrindavan. Lokanath Goswami immediately set off for Vrindavan, hoping to see the Lord there. But by the time he arrived, he heard that the Lord had gone to Prayag. Disappointed, but still determined to see the Lord, Lokanath Goswami decided to set off again for Prayag. Wow, how heartbreaking, huh? This time, however, Mahaprabhu appeared to Lokanath Goswami and in a dream, he appeared to Lokanath Goswami in a dream and told him to stop moving about and remain in Vrindavan to perform his bhajan. Not long afterwards, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and other of the Lord's associates started coming to live in Vraj. Their association brought Lokanath Goswami immense joy. When Rupa Goswami was getting old, he found it difficult to walk all the way to Govardhan to take darshan of Gopal. Seeing his intense desire, Gopal came to stay at the house of Vittaleshwar in Mathura, ostensibly out of fear of Muslim iconoclasts. But actually, it was to show his mercy to Rupa Goswami. So the deity stayed there for a month, during which time Rupa Goswami came for his darshan with Lokanath Goswami and other Gaudiya Vaishnavas. The extent to which Bhugarbo Goswami was dear to Lokanath Goswami is described in Bhakti Ratnakar, in the first chapter, verse 317. It says, Lokanath Goswami's affection for Bhugarbo Goswami was well known everywhere. They only had different bodies. In spirit, they were one. Hari Bol Krishna Mai Didi. And then chapter, in Bhakti Ratnakar, is it Tarangas? I think it's Tarangas. So in the sixth Taranga, Bhakti Ratnakar, it says, Gopal Bhatta Goswami was extremely compassionate. Bhugarbo Goswami and Lokanath Goswami are a gold mine of virtues. Lokanath Goswami worshipped Radha and Krishna in deep separation and with extreme renunciation. He was afraid of the slightest amount of fame. Thus, he forbade Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write anything about him in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the result that nothing was written about him there other than his name. Sanatan Goswami also mentioned his name in the Mangalacharan. I didn't know that. So Sanatan Goswami mentions his name in the Mangalacharan to Hari Bhakti Vilas, as well as in his Vaishnav Toshani commentary to the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he says, Vrindavana Priyan Vande Shri Govinda Padashritan Shrimat Kashishvaram Lokanātham Shri Krishna Dasakam. Says, I pay obeisance to Kashishwar Pandit, Lokanath Goswami, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who have taken shelter of Lord Govinda's lotus feet, and to whom residence in Vrindavan is very dear. Wow, that is fascinating. That Sanatana Goswami also wrote. He wrote a pranam mantra to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Whoa. I mean, like that he mentioned him in this pranam mantra. That's very fascinating. Okay. Lokanath Goswami and Radha Vinod. Lokanath Goswami constantly traveled throughout Braj, ecstatically visiting the various holy places where Krishna had engaged in his pastimes. Once he went to Kadirvan. Then he visited Kishorikund near the village of Umarao by Chatravan. He stayed there for some time to do his bhajan in isolation. He developed a deep desire to worship Radha and Krishna in their deity form. The Lord knows the desires of his devotees and feels himself obliged to fulfill them. He came personally to give Lokanath Goswami a deity, telling him before disappearing that its name was Radha Vinod. Lokanath Goswami was astonished at seeing the appearance of the deity and started to wonder who gave him the deity. Radha Vinod cast his sweet glance on Lokanath Goswami and said to him, I have been living in this village of Umarao on the banks of Kishorikund. I saw your eagerness to serve me, and so I came here on my own. Who else but me could have brought me to you? I am very hungry. Quickly prepare something for me to eat. When Lokanath Goswami heard these words, tears began to flow from his eyes. He quickly started cooking for Radha Vinod, and then made an offering that the deity ate with great satisfaction. Lokanath Goswami then made Radha Vinod a bed of flowers, upon which he placed him, fanned him with branches, and joyfully massaged his feet. Lokanath Goswami devoted himself to Radha Vinod in body, mind, and soul. Lokanath Goswami wondered where he would keep his deity, as he was constantly wandering through the land of Raj. Finally, he decided to make a large bag, which he made into Radha Vinod's temple. Wearing the bag around his neck, he was able to keep his worshipable deity close to his heart like a necklace. Portable temple, neck temple. When they saw the affectionate relationship between Lokanath Goswami and his lord, the people of Raj were attracted to him and asked if they could build a house for him, and Radha Vinod. But Lokanath Goswami refused. His spirit of renunciation was so strong that he declines to accept anything but what he absolutely needed for the deity's service. Narottam Das becomes Lokanath Goswami's disciple. After spending some time at Kishorikund, Lokanath Goswami came to Vrindavan. He learned that Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had ended their pastimes in this world, and he lamented their departure in great sadness. At around this time, Narottam Das, who was the son of Raj Krishnananda Datta of Gopalpur in Rajshahi, now in Bangladesh, he came to Vrindavan and met him there. So many pastimes of separation of Lokanath Goswami, Mahaprabhu, and then Rupa and Sanatan. Now, many years earlier, Nityananda Prabhu cried in divine ecstasy on his way to Nilachal. Mahaprabhu stored this divine love with the Padmavati river for Narottam Thakur's benefit. Nityananda Prabhu cried in divine ecstasy, and then Mahaprabhu kept stored this divine love with the Padmavati river. Since then, the place has come to be known as Prematali, Years later, when Narottam Thakur took his bath in the river at Prematali, he was immediately overcome with prema and was inspired to cut off all family ties and go to Vrindavan. Upon his arrival in Vraj, Narottam Thakur received the grace of Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Lokanath Goswami. He received Lokanath Goswami's special mercy, for he became his one and only disciple. Lokanath Goswami was extremely renounced and had made a vow not to accept any disciples. But Narottam Das also made a vow to take initiation from no one other than Lokanath Goswami. Narottam Thakur repeatedly asked Lokanath Goswami to give him initiation, but Lokanath Goswami was firm in his refusal. In order to win his favor, Narottam Thakur went in the middle of the night to clean the area he used as a toilet. Lokanath Goswami was so surprised to see that the place was being kept clean and free from bad odor that he became curious to find out who was doing this service. One night, he went and hid there in some bushes, chanting japa the entire night. At midnight, Lokanath Goswami saw someone come and begin cleaning the place. When he saw who it was, Lokanath Goswami was astonished to see that Narottam Thakur, the son of a king, was engaged in doing such a filthy task. He felt embarrassed and asked him what his purpose was in doing it. Narottam Thakur immediately began to cry. He fell at Lokanath Goswami's feet and said, "My life is useless unless I obtain your mercy." When Lokanath Goswami saw Narottam Thakur's humility and pain, his resolve to never give anyone initiation softened, and he imparted mantras to him. This is a perfect example of how one can win over the worshipable deity through honest and selfless service. Narottam Das took initiation from Lokanath Goswami on the full moon day of the month of Shravan. Since then, Narottam Thakur was engaged in selfless and sincere service to Lokanath Goswami. However, for the benefit of the entire world, and especially to the people of northern Bengal, Lokanath Goswami sent Narottam Thakur for preaching there. Lokanath Goswami was a much renounced Vaishnav, but he saw in Narottam Thakur someone who not only had a cultured background, but an enthusiasm and taste for dealing with people. As a result, he asked him to go back to his homeland to preach Krishna consciousness. When one has taken full shelter of the Supreme Lord and is situated on the transcendental platform in full service to the Lord, then he has no enthusiasm for engaging in activities for the welfare of people on the bodily Then he has no enthusiasm for engaging in activities for the welfare of people on the bodily platform. When a devotee of Narottam Das's caliber goes against this principle, then such activities themselves are honored, and they increase in prestige. So Narottam Thakur returns to northern Bengal. He returns to northern Bengal on the order of his spiritual master and began to preach pure devotional service, and thus delivered the people of his homeland. In his collection of songs known as Prarthana, Narottam Das Thakur has written, "Aneka dukher pore loyechile vrajapure kripador galaya bandhiya kripadore galaya bandhiya daiva maya balatkare khasaiya dore bhavakupe dile ka dariya bhavakupe dile ka dariya." It says kilek. That's interesting. I wonder what kila means. Okay. So after suffering, this is from the song Thakur Vaishnava Gan. So after suffering much sadness, O Lord, or is it from Kripa Kori Rako Nijapade? Forgot. Anyways, after suffering much sadness, O Lord, you brought me to Vraj, pulling me by the rope of mercy, which you had tied around my neck. Maya and fate forced me back into this well of material existence by cutting loose that rope of mercy. Lokanath Goswami left this world somewhere around 1510 Shaka, that's 1589 AD, on the eighth day of the dark moon, on the eighth day of the dark moon in the month of Ashad. His samadhi tomb is found in the Radha Gokulananda temple in Vrindavan. His beloved Radha Vinoditi continues to be served in the same temple. Okay, so now we still have 20 minutes. Maybe let's sing the Haribol Nandan Nandan Prabhu. Great to see you here. Maybe we can sing the, what is it? Lokanath Goswami Ashtakam? Let me find it. Duty, I think Shivas translated it. This is a file Shivas gave me a long time ago. So there might be a more, there might be a more recent file. Let's see, Lokanath Ashtakam. Okay, here it is. Lokanath Prabhu Varashtakam by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then after we'll sing Srila Nartam Das Thakur's kirtans that he wrote before Lokanath Goswami. Okay. What's the meter for this last verse? I just want to figure it out before we start. Soyang Shri Lokanātha Spurata Puru Kriparas. No. Soyang Shri Lokanātha Spuratu Puru Kripa Rashmi Bisvai Samudhi. Okay, got it. I didn't want to. I'm just going to get Mridanga. Give me 1 second. Maybe we'll read the translation, sing the verse. Read the translation, sing the verse. We'll do it like that so that we know what we're singing. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh my God. This Mridanga got all moldy on the other side. Okay. Mridanga's all moldy. Okay. So we'll read the first verse. Okay. Shri Krishna Chaitanya's mercy is his only cherished wealth. Shri Krishna Chaitanya's mercy is Lokanath Goswami's only cherished wealth. His heart is ornamented with the golden ornament of love for Sri Gaur. I repeatedly fall to the ground and take shelter of that Sri Lokanath Prabhu. Ya Krishna Chaitanya Kripae Kavetas Tat Prema Hema Bharanadya Cheta Nipatya Bhumo Satatang Namama Stum Lokanatham Prabhum ashrayama. He dwells eternally in Sri Vrindavan. Shri Krishna's loving pastimes and Ras Leela spurt into his heart. Meanwhile, he is always absorbed in fulfilling his duties. I take shelter of that Śrīla Lokanātha Prabhu. Yo labda vrindavana nityavasa parispurat Krishna vilasa rasa swacharacharya satata virangstam lokanatham prabhum Tang lokanatham prabhum ashrayam. He constantly manifests attachment for Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Bhaktas, devotees of the Lord, and spends the entirety of the 8 periods of the day and night in the 9 limbs of bhakti dedicated to Sri Radha and Krishna. I take refuge of that master, Śrīla Lokanātha. Sarullasar bhagavatanuраktya ya Krishna Radha shravanadi bhaktya ayatayami krita sarvayangstam lokanatham prabhum ashrayama. Who here is not immersed in relishing service to the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna, the King and Queen of Vrindavan? Everyone is constantly savoring that ras. Amid the congregation of these adept masters, he is most praiseworthy and beautiful. I have taken shelter of that master, Śrīla Lokanātha. Vrindavanadisha padabja seva svade numajanti hahanta keva yasteshvapishla gyatamobhirangmas tam lokanatam prabhumashrayama. He exhibits sorrow when he sees people averse to relishing the pastimes of Sri Krishna. He himself shows great yearning to relish those pastimes. I take shelter of that master, Śrīla Lokanātha. Ya Krishna Lila Rasa Eva Lokan Anunmukhan Viksha Vibharti Shokan Swayam Tada Swadana Matrakam Lokanatham Prabhum ashrayama. A certain great scholar by the name of Sri Narottam was well acquainted with his mercy. His renunciation of the objects of the senses is renowned everywhere. I take shelter of that master, Śrīla Lokanātha. Kripa balang yasya viveda kaschit Narottamo nama mahan vipaschit Yasya pratiyan vishaya pramastam tam lokanatham prabhumashrayama. By his favor, even fools enter the path of Raganuga Bhakti, or devotion guided by spontaneous loving attachment, and they become free from sorrow. He is not hostile even towards aparadhis, heartless offenders. I take refuge of that master, Śrīla Lokanātha. Raganuga vartmaniyat prasadar vishantaya vigyaya pinirvishada Jane krita gasya piyastvat vangstam. Jane krita gasya piyastva vamas tang lokanatham prabhumashrayama. Having obtained the service of the servant of his servant, I can consider my life worthwhile. Very soon, I will enter his assembly of devotees. I take shelter of that Śrīla Lokanātha Prabhu. Wow, what a beautiful verse. Dāsa dāsanuga dāsa dāsa vayam bhavama phalita bilasha yadiyatayam sahasa vishamas tam lokanatam prabhumashrayama. Whoever recites this Śrīla Lokanātha, which is the essence of religiosity, wealth, ambition, and liberation, that person will attain the service of Srimati Radhika under the guidance of the Sakis. O Śrīla Lokanāthashtakam atyudaram bhaktya patedya purushartha saram samanjulali padavim prapadya Shri Radhikam sevata eva satya. Soyang Śrīla Lokanātha spuratu puru kripa rashni bisvai samudyan nudrito dhritayona prachuratama tama kupato dipitabi drigbi swaprema vitya dishama dishadaho yang shrita divya lila ratnadhyam bindamana vayamapi nibhritang Śrīla Govardhanang Sma. I forgot to read the translation. His shining eyes have entirely delivered me from a dense dark well and set me on the path of his divine love. Aha! By his mercy, I have attained a secluded spot near Govardhan, the storehouse of transcendental pastimes. I pray to attain a sudden vision of that Śrīman Lokanath in the hollow of his mercy. Tam Lokanatham Prabhumashayama 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 Jaya Lokanātha Prabhu Lokanātha 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 Jaya Lokanātha Gosvāmī Lokanātha Gosvāmī Lokanātha Jaya Lokanātha. I really liked this last verse here. Where is it? This verse 8. Oh wait, one second. You can't hear me right now. One second. Okay. Yeah, this verse says, having obtained the service of the servant of the servant of his servant, I can consider my life worthwhile. Very soon I will enter his assembly of devotees. I take shelter of that Śrīla Lokanātha Prabhu. So this could also go for, like, if we're singing this in our position, who is the servant of the servant of the servant of his servant? So that would be Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, no, Srila Gaurkishora Babaji Maharaj, Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, or Param Gurudev. Or maybe this could be praying to Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. That, I've obtained the service of the servant of the servant of his servant. The servant of the servant of his servant. So that's 3 times down. Okay, so yeah, it'd either be Gaurkishora Babaji Maharaj or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? But yeah. And then you're praying to Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada or to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You're praying that very soon I will enter your assembly of devotees, because I'm the servant of the servant of your servant of your servant. Yeah, cool. Now we will sing. There are 2 songs by Narottam Das Thakur. Lokanātha, what is it? Okay, one second. I think we made some changes to it, so I want to get the latest edition. Sorry, I changed some of the verses around for this one. So I want to get the latest. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just getting the latest version that we just finished laying out. The Guru chapter. This will be in the Guru chapter of the new Gaudiya Giti Gucha. But I didn't organize the files nicely. This isn't the latest one, I don't think. What to do? This will have to do. Okay. And I gave a footnote here. It says that this song, Haha Prabhu Lokanātha, Rakopada Dwande, this composition, while dedicated to Lokanath Das Goswami, was included in the Guru Kripa Prarthana section of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj's Bengali Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. In an article in Shri Gaudiya Patrika, Year 10, Issue 6, also, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj cites the initial 3 verses of this song, substituting the word Lokanath with Gurudev. Isn't that interesting? So you can also sing the song to Gurudev. Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj changed the word Lokanath to Gurudev. So alas, alas, my master, Lokanath, please keep me at your 2 lotus feet. If, with your merciful gaze, you look upon me with delight, then my ambitions will be fulfilled, my thirsts quenched. Here I find Chaitanya, and there I simultaneously find Radha Krishna. If you do not bestow mercy upon me, who will? Please fulfill the longings of my heart this one time. In these 3 worlds, I have no one else. Please be merciful and give me a place at your feet. Narottam's longing to sing of Radha and Krishna's pastimes and glories day and night will not be fulfilled without you. Guess I'll sing it in the evening melody since it's not morning for many people here, so 1 second, just turning on. Okay. Aha Prabhu Lokanātha Rakopada Dvande Kripa Drishte Chaho Jadi Ahoya Anande Manovancha Siddhi Tabe Hoya Purna Trishna Hetai Chaitanya Mile Setha Radha Krishna Tumi na korile daya Ke koribe ar Maner vasana purna Akoro ye para Etina sangsare mor O yaar ke honai Kripa kori neja pada Tale deho thai Radha Krishna Leela guna Gaya ratri dine Narottama vancha purna Nahetu abhine Aha Prabhu Lokanātha Rakopada Dvandve kripa drishte chaho jadi hoya nande akripa drishte chaho jadi hoya nande. Okay, now the next song. O my master Lokanath, have mercy on me, such that Radha and Krishna's feet may manifest in my heart at all times. To be with you in the company of the Sakis is the desire that always arises in my heart. When will you offer me at the feet of she who is seniormost among the Sakis to be engaged in service? Shri Rupa Manjari, right? Then those longings of mine will be fulfilled. In ecstasy, I shall serve the divine couple. O Shri Rupa Manjari Sakhi, look upon me with your merciful gaze. Douse this scorched nartam with the nectar of service. O Lokanātha Prabhu tumi daya karo more. O Lokanātha Prabhu tumi daya karo more. Radha Krishna Charana jeno sada chitte spore. Radha Krishna Charana jeno sada chitte spore. Tomara sa hita thaki Sakhi rasa hite. Eto vasana mor sadai uthe chete. Sakhi gan jeshta je ho tahara charane more samarpibe kabe. সেবার কারণে তবে সে হইবে মোর বাঞ্ছিত পুরানা আনন্দে সেবিব দোহার যুগল চরণ শ্রীরূপ মঞ্জরি Sakhi kripa drishte chaya tapi narotame sincha sevamrita diya tapi narotame sincha sevamrita diya. O Lokanātha Prabhu tumi daya karo more. Radha Krishna charana jeno sada chitte spore. Radha Krishna charana jeno sada chitte spore. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Narottam Thakur, Jaya Narottam Thakur, Narottam Thakur, Jaya Narottam Thakur, Jaya Lokanath Thakur, Jaya Lokanath Gosvāmī, Lokanath Gosvāmī, Jaya Lokanath Gosvāmī. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari. Actually, sorry. We're going to do our anybody who needs to go now, Dandavat Pranams, thank you so much for joining. See you all tomorrow to continue reading about the second verse of Shikshashtakam. But yeah, for those who are staying for our Chaturmasya program that we're doing, I'm going to go now through the Pratam Yam Sadhan. Right. So let's, and Hare Krishna Patita Pavani Didi. Hari All right, one second. Just, okay. We'll go through it quickly today. Where is it? One second, just need to open up the browser. Okay. Vineupdevotion.com. Okay, Pratam Yam Sadhan. Tam nirvyajam bhajagunanidhe pavana pavananam shraddharajan matiratitaram uttama shlokamaulim prodyan anta karanakuhare hantayanama bhanur abhasopi kshapayati mahapataka. O Gunanidhe, without duplicity, nirvyajam, without deceit, duplicity, completely sincerely, with pure-heartedly, bhaja, worship, tang, worship him, he who is pavana pavananam, who is the purifier of all purifiers, the redeemer of all redeemers, who is uttama shloka molim, who is the crest jewel of those praised by the choicest verses, by the topmost verses, uttama shloka. Worship him atitaram, wholeheartedly, exceedingly, with your mati, with your mind's rajan, atitaram, completely imbued, rajan, imbued with or colored by shraddha, this deep faith, deep shraddha, paramarthik shraddha. Worship him. Tang nirvyajam bhaja. When even, api means even, when even the abhas, when even the dim glow, the slight dawning of the sun, of the bhanu, of the sun of his name, yan nam, when the sun of his name, when it prodyan, when it begins to arise, kuhare, within the cave of the antakarana, of the heart, then kshapayati, then it destroys, it dispels the dvanta rashim, the mass of darkness, the vast darkness. Dvanta means darkness, of mahapatak, of the gravest, most grievous sins. Just the abhas, just the dim glow of the sun of his name when it begins to arise within the heart. This is nishanta for the sadhak, the end of the night for the sadhak. So then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Parama pavana Krishna tahar charan, nishkapata shraddha saha koroho bhajan, jar nama suryabhas, antare praveshi, dhvangsha kore mahapap, andhakar rashi. So worship, koroho bhajan, engage in bhajan of Parama Pavana Krishna, of Krishna who is the supremely purifying. He is the supreme savior. He is Parama Pavan. So Koroho Bhajan, engage in bhajan of Tahar Charan, of his feet. Saha, with, Saha means with, Nishkapat Shraddha. We all know the word Nishkapat. So that's without any duplicity, pure-hearted, completely sincere Shraddha, faith. Worship him with sincere faith. Jar nam suryabhas antare praveshi. So when the sun, Surya, when the glow of the sun, the suryabhas, when the sun of his name, antare praveshya, when having entered antare, within, dhvankshakore, it dispels, it destroys the andakar rashi, the deep darkness, the vast darkness, andakar rashi of mahapap, of the greatest sins. Okay, now the methodology of Shri Shikshashtak. E Shikshashtake kohe Krishna lila kram, ihate bhajana krame, lilar udgam, prathame prathama shloka bhajo kichu din, dvitiya shlokete tabe hoto praveen. Chari shloke kramasha bhajana pakva koro, panchama shlokete nija siddha dehavaro. Oy shloke siddha dehe radha padashray, aramba koriya krame unnati udoy. Choy shloka bhajite anartha dure gelo, তবে জানো সিদ্ধা দেহে অধিকার হইল অধিকার না লভিয়া সিদ্ধা দেহ ভাবে विपर्याय बुद्धि जन्मे शक्तिर अभावे सावधाने क्रम धरो जधि सिद्धि चाओ साधुर चरित देखी शुद्ध बुद्धि पाओ सिद्ध देह पे क्रमे भजन करिले अष्टकाल सेवा सुख अनायासे मिले शिक्षाष्टक चिंता करो स्मरण कीर्तन क्रमे अष्टकाल सेवा হবে উদ্দীপন সকল অনর্থ যাবে পাবে প্রেম ধন চতুর্বর্গ ফলগু প্রায় হবে আদর্শন. So the meaning of this Shikshashtak describes the progressive unfolding of Krishna's pastimes. In it, those pastimes arise through the systematic path of bhajan. First, worship the first verse for some time. Then, upon coming to the second, you will become practiced. Through the first 4 verses, gradually bring your bhajan to maturity. In the 5th verse, take shelter of your own perfected spiritual body. In that verse, by beginning to take shelter of Radha's feet in one's Siddha Deha, spiritual advancement gradually awakens. By practicing up to the 6th verse, all anarthas are driven far away. Then know that you have attained qualification for the Siddha Deha. If without proper qualification, one meditates on the Siddha Deha, mistaken understanding arises due to the lack of spiritual strength. If you desire perfection, if you desire Siddhi, then carefully follow the step-by-step path. By observing the conduct of sadhus, you will gain purified intelligence. Having received your Siddha Deha and practiced bhajan in the proper sequence, The bliss of service throughout the 8 periods of the day will come effortlessly. Contemplate the Shikshashtak and engage in remembrance in Kirtan. Gradually, your Ashtakala Seva will be awakened. All anarthas will vanish, and you will attain the treasure of prem. The 4 mundane goals of life will appear false and fade from view. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanang parang vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Apita varana kali pavana gora gawai aichana bhava vibhora chitta darpana parimarjana kari Krishna kirtana jai chitta vihari hela bhava dava nirvapana vritti Krishna kirtana jai klesha nivritti Te Shreya Kumuda Vidhu Jyotsna Prakasha Krishna Kirtana Jai Bhakti Vilasa Vishuddha Vidyavadu Jivana Rupa Krishna Kirtana Jai Siddha Swarupa Ananda Payonidhi Vardhana Kirti Krishna Kirtana Jai Plavana Murti Pade pade piyusha swada pradata Krishna kirtana jai prema vidata Bhakti vinoda swatma snapana vidhana Krishna kirtana jai prema nidana. Now the Leela verse from Govinda Lilamrita. Ratrante trasta vrinde rita bahu viravar Poditotki Padyar Hridyar Ahridyar Apisukashayanad Uttito to Sakhibi Drishto Hrishto Tadatvo Ditarati Lalito Kakatigi Sashanko Radha Krishna Satrishna Api Nija Nija Dham Tatalpo smarami. At the end of the night, awakened by the many sounds of birds sent by an anxious Vrinda, and also by the pleasant and unpleasant verses of the parrots and myna birds, they have arisen from their blissful sleep. Observed by their sakis, they are delighted and lovely, owing to the love freshly arisen at that moment. Startled by the cry of Kakati, and although still thirsting for one another, they reach the beds in their own respective homes. I remember Radha and Krishna. Dekhiya aruna doi Vrinda Devi vyasta hoy Kunje nana rava korailo Shukasari padya shuni Uthe Radha Nilamani Sakhigan Dekhi Hrishta hoilo Akalo chitta sulalita Kakatira rave bhita Radha Krishna Satrishna hoiya Nija nija grihe gela Nibhrite shayana koila Duhe bhaji she lila smariya Lila smara ag Lila smara argao Krishna nama Krishna lila prem dhan Babe Krishna dama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Jai Shri Shri Radha Vinod Ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev ki jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Sapashad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Jai Shri Lokanath Goswami Par ki jai. His dearmost Bhugarbo Goswami ki jai. Jai Shri Jai his dear servant Lokanath Das, sorry, his dear servant Srila Nartam Das Thakur ki jai. Jai Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Jai Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. His bhajan rahasya ki jai. And Jai Shila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Par ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Govinda Lilamrita ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Shikshashtak ki Jai, Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, the disappearance festival of Śrīla Lokanātha Goswami ki Jai, all those observing this festival ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nanda Nandan Prabhu, Champak Mataji, and on YouTube and Facebook, Raseshwari Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Vidya Lalasa Didi, Krishna Mai Didi, Patita Pavani Didi, Indira Mataji, and all the other devotees watching now. I'm guessing Ganga Mataji is there, or she'll watch later. And also all the other devotees watching in the future, like Revati Didi, Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Manjari Rose, Haribo. Thank you so much for joining. If there's anything anybody wants to mention before I end the stream, now's your chance. Okay, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Let's look at the calendar really quickly. So on this calendar, okay, tomorrow is nothing. Day after tomorrow is nothing. Day after that is my mother's birthday. And also Kamika Akadashi and Srila Bhakti Kamal, who is it? Govinda Maharaj. And it says one more. Can't see it though. Okay, so we'll be reading Shikshashtak for another couple days. And yeah, see you all that. Haribol.